Hello everyone and welcome back to Tiresome.
Hello.
Today we are going to stop our car from catching fire and we might stop yours too. Let's crack on.
Yes.
Whilst Father does his bit and gets some clips off, I'm going to tell you a little story about... Instantly wanted to go into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm not going to. It's fine. So, basically, one day I turned the key on my car and the fuel pump, which normally starts off quite rattly and then quietens down, rather like this. It quietens down as it gobbles fuel, right? Like all good fuel pumps do. But one day I went to start it and it did not gobble. And it started, I drove it down the road a bit, it conked out, I actually had to push it back. I pushed it back, had a fiddle around, and I wobbled the fuel hoses, and it went, and it got the fuel, and I was like, oh, brilliant, okay, well, it fired it up and continued my journey. Later that day, which was quite a bit later, I, in the evening, went to get in the car and drive away from where I had been, and it wouldn't start again, except this time wobbling the hoses did not do anything. Now, my car was low on fuel, so I got a lovely relative, thank you DJ, to nip down and bring me a jerry can full of fuel, which he did, and it worked. The car gobbled up the fuel. Okay, so now the car's developed this issue where if it's on a slight sort of incline, or you're facing up a hill, even a little bit, then it will not start. But that's okay, as long as I know that, I know not to park like that and hopefully keep more than so the fuel light's not on, so it will start, right? It's just one of those things. However, the next day, it did it again in the morning and I wobbled the hoses and it was fine. However, on my way home from work that day, I was going up a hill, that is on my way home from work, there are hills, and it started conking out again. So I tapped the brakes because that would slosh the fuel, and indeed it did, and the car kept running. However, this hill has two sets of traffic lights, and unfortunately I got caught at one. I obviously can't really get the momentum going when I'm stationary, so luckily I had just enough fuel left in the carburettor just to fart across and get into a bit of a lay-by that was on this particular journey, and what I did, knowing that the fuel pumps had affected it somewhat in the past, but it had plenty of fuel this time, almost quarter of a tank. So what I did, just to completely change the geometry of the hoses, was to turn the fuel pump upside down, which worked, and it fired up, and I managed to get home that way, and it was great in every single way. When I got home, I realised something. I had realised that this hose here that I had been using, it's brand new, this cut here is still brand new, not been used, had cracks in it. I could see amongst or in the braiding that it was cracked. And that fuel line had been on there for less than a year. Now, what's important to note is that this was on the sort of suck, if you like, of the fuel pump or the pull, and that is what was stopping it from starting, and that was what was changing those dynamics, because of course, depending on where the cracks are and things like this, it would be able to suck the fuel. However, it was more often than not sucking air through the cracks in the hose, and that was causing our issue. Really bad. In fact, it's really, really bad, because I went out of my way to make sure that this hose here, when I first got it, was not only Ethernet safe for newer fuels, but ethanol, like E85 certified, all that sort of stuff, thinking that it was fit and forget. However, unfortunately, I got it off a seller on eBay, and even though it was like a reputable place, I believe at the time, the ad is no longer listed, and it's crazy to me that people would buy cheap things, not test them properly, sell them to customers that are going to put them in their beloved cars. And I mean, luckily in this circumstance we didn't have any real issues. I mean, it broke down a couple of times, but if that was on a push line, then I could have had fuel directly going over the manifolds, and it's a fiberglass car, guys. I don't think I need to tell you what happens then. I do feel somewhat responsible though, because this was, I believe, maybe £25 for, I think, about 3 to 5 meters. But what I've got now is this stuff. And this stuff, I mean, I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on this, but the black hose here There you go. The black hose you can see is much thicker. This, indeed, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, is Mocal R9 fuel line, which, by all intents and purposes, is the one that I think nearly everyone uses in classic cars. It's actually not only ethanol rated, it's oil rated and all that sort of stuff, and even methanol rated. So if you have a top fuel dragster that you're looking to take down Santa Pod, this is the fuel line for you. It does also mean that it won't perish. This stuff, for reference, is £25 a metre. So you've got 2 metres here, and actually about 2 metres here, except one's a 50 quid and one's worth a fiver. So do your duty. I got mine from Demon Tweaks, and if I were you, I'd probably get yours from a reputable retailer as well, even if it looks like it's, you know, the real deal or whatever. I just wouldn't risk it. I would just make sure you get the proper stuff from the proper retailer, because it could end really badly, and I'm really surprised that some people sell it with effectively the risk of manslaughter, right? Like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, let's see what Father is done during this time, and swap our, well, pretty braided line over for line that's actually usable, shall we? Hello, Father. Hello. What have you managed to get done then? I noticed the air filters come off.
Yes, well, somebody who put that clip on there put it on before the air filter was on.
Yes.
So I couldn't get the angle on the dangle.
Okay, it was me.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clips are now loose. I assume we're not going to change this because it's only water anyway.
Yeah, exactly. This is just the low pressure return, everyone, to the overflow tank, which is also... Did I just... I just put a hole in it with my finger.
Now the overflow's going to overflow.
Well, at least it'll go somewhere. So that's good. Awesome.
Yeah,
And
I've just got to do the ones underneath. I have jacked the car up, and I have even put an axle stand there.
Safety.
Yes. So I've
standard.
I've been a good lad.
Oh.
And now I'm going to loosen the 2 clips below. I'm assuming that the clip below will pee the most petrol out when I loosen it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we're probably going to do that one first and have a receptacle to collect petrol.
By the way, guys, don't look at my power steering line repair, will you?
Nice.
That's the low pressure line. It's good. It's okay.
Yeah.
This is how I cut a fuel line. This is the old one, of course. And we did... What are you doing? What are you doing that for?
I'm nodding.
Oh, I see. Fucking hell. And this I cut with this. Because of course it had a braided line, and you kind of have to cut through that as well as the hose itself. I tried tin snips, I tried Father's tailoring shears, but nothing is going through the Mocal pipe. So, even though I know a lot of you are going to really shriek at this, I'm going to use the angle grinder on the new hose. All I did was put the hose next to it, get it in a vise. Now, I'm not crushing it, but I'm just keeping it, you know, firmly gripped there. And I'm going to just slice it off. And let it fall to its death. And there you go, you've got a piece of pipe that's the correct length. We only have one more to go, which is the one Father's fondling now. We're actually going to shorten that one by quite a bit as well, because it's just too long. It doesn't need to be that long. I'm just going to turn the ignition on, so we're going to hear the rattling of the petrol pump. Petrol pump? Fuel pump. No, we won't. There's no electricity going to the vehicle.
What is that?
Okay, so there's electricity getting to the car. No, I know.
We've disconnected the fuel pump.
Yes, yeah, it's okay. I can see it already.
Ah, right, okay.
It's the inhibitor switch.
Ah.
Now, everyone, when you fit your electric fuel pump, make sure to put a rollover switch in. So if you go upside down, the fuel pump turns off and doesn't squirt fuel all over your burning body. When you change your fuel lines and inadvertently pull your wires off your inhibitor switch because it's just the jankiest thing you've ever seen, make sure to put them back on again.
It's making a noise like a guinea pig.
Yes, it always did do that.
That is so like a guinea pig. You've got a guinea pig in your fuel pump.
Right, should we have a look under the car and see if fuel's pouring out?
We could look under the car and see.
Because I actually don't have that much fuel. It'd be a shame to waste it.
Oh, poor little thing stuck in there.
Well, you know, it's all made of fossils, isn't it?
Well,
I wonder how old.
Oh, it's died.
Right, let's get the car down and fire it up. Obviously, it's got to fucking start. Why wouldn't it start?
It's a scimitar.
All right. Look how high it is before we set it down. Look at the wheel. Yeah. Look how high it is, and then you just kind of. You have to.
We got guinea pigs and real pigs.
Yeah.
Right.
What do we reckon? Is it going to start? You've got to build the drama.
You don't have to build the drama. Listen to that. You might as well reverse it off a bit of wood while you're there.
Oh yeah. There we go, everyone. Fuel lines replaced, ready for ethanol. Only what, like 5+ years too late? When did ethanol come in?
A long time ago when they started it.
But it's the E90, isn't it now?
Yeah.
E90? Which is horrendous. But I put E95 in anyway. Either way, it's safe. Also, none of the lines that I took off were cracked. So I think that's because, of course, I changed those when I did the electric fuel pump swap from the mechanical fuel pump. So they're probably about 3 or 4 months newer. Either way, preventative maintenance is the one, especially when it's talking about fire and fiberglass and my face. Thank you for your help, Father. What a lovely t-shirt you're wearing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, available nowhere. No, they're not. Maybe one day, but don't need them. It's okay. We will catch you next time, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye.